going on, everyone? Got some updates today, excited to share with you. Right now we're heading to a little trail. I'll stop somewhere on that once we get around this truck, show you guys what's new on the bike, but let's just say it's highly anticipated. Hopefully you can hear me too. It's my first time filming with the old GoPro on the helmet here, so I don't know if you saw just a few seconds ago, I tried to hit 60. As some of you know, I'm running the 45-tooth sprocket. Hopefully you could see what those RPMs were. I want to say at like 60, it's about 6,000, and 65, about 6,500. Keep in mind my speedometer is a little off though, so it might say I'm going 65, but I'm probably going 60, 62. If anything, 6th gear is just way usable now. You know, before with the old sprocket, it was more of an overdrive gear, and now it is very, very useful. Yeah, I'm losing that overdrive gear, but see what's going down here at the res. Oops. Trying to get a wheelie for you. Just peeling out. Yeah, it's okay. Let's go up on this trail here. We got a little bit of mud. Yeah, buddy. Phew. Phew. We haven't had rain in a while here in Vermont. Just for the reference, it's May 7th today. And I'll tell you what, weather's beautiful. Probably about 60 degrees today, but whew, that's a little sketchy. Later next week, we're in the 80s already, which is freaking insane, but I'll take it. I'm gonna be riding a lot. So while we're cruising through here, I do want to say I work about 25 miles from my home, and I've driven this thing twice. I don't take it on any highways. Man. I don't take it on any highways, but you know, I do cruise probably around 55, 60 all the way to work. And if you remember, I got the MT16 on front, the Dunlop 606 on the rear. And it's not bad, you know, it gets a little old with the 45-tooth sprocket. You're definitely winding it out a bit, but again, going 65 miles an hour, you're actually going between 6,500 RPM and 7,000. You know, so definitely could be worse. But I feel like the sprocket is worth it for once you get in the woods here like this. You know, we're just fucking banshing. Whoop. know, third, fourth gear. Definitely a nice, happy medium for the woods with the 45-2 sprocket. We're going to be taking this trail home too, and there's a pretty gnarly hill climb coming up. Well, actually it's downhill coming up, but we're going to be hitting it on our way back, and I kind of look forward to it. Well, I complain about this bike because I wish it had a little more grunt. Oh, my cell phone thing's tipping here on me. Wish it had a little more grunt, like out of the get-go. Obviously, the 45 helps with that. I do think a tune, the new ECU from 505 performance, I think it is, for 550, I don't know. And I think an exhaust, I think that'll really help. I am still waiting to break this sucker in though. So that'll come later this summer, the exhaust and the tune. Right now I'm just having fun. I can live with it. Yes, we're gonna be fucking bombing up this thing. That'll be fun. I will say that this cell phone thing, this is just an Amazon special. It's never done this. Wonder if it was a little loose before I took the bike out today. We'll fix it here at the bottom. I'm gonna do a video on this bridge. I'm gonna show you guys these updates. And they're ones worth watching, let me tell you. If you haven't, well, I'll just give you a hint. There's no way in hell I'd be riding this fast. I'm not going too fast now, but when we first got on this trail with the sock suspension, there's just no way that'd be happening. So that's all I'll say right now. Phew. Oh, we're already here. Nice little river for you. Where do we want to park it? So this is a snowmobile bridge. Yeah, that's a little loose. If you're interested in which one this is, I can give you the link, obviously. All right. Not gonna do it. Alright, so in my last video, let me take these goggles off. In my last video, I had mentioned that the kickstand, something needed to happen to the kickstand. I chose to try something new here. Obviously, keep in mind that the kickstand is on this higher board right here, so it does lean a little more than it's leaning now. But what I did is, before I bought a $120 kickstand, adjustable kickstand that only elevates it an extra inch, I actually took a hockey puck, which gives me 1 inch, and I used some self-tapping sheet metal screws. I countersunk the bottom here. Don't pay attention to that center hole, that was already there from a previous project. But right here, just put 2 self-tapping screws in, and it made this nice little extension. It's 10 times better than the stock. Very happy with it. I don't feel the need to actually buy the is it the T-Rex kickstand right now. Gosh, I'm worried that's, I guess it's got a little lean to it. So that's the first mod I did. I did do the delete mod 2 to the sensor here. If you're not familiar with that one, literally you just kind of trace it back up into where the relays are, cut it right before the plug, and I solder the two together. So we're tricking the bike thinking that the kickstand is up all the time. And I did this because I felt like when I was banshing through the woods, it'd be vibrating and you'd feel the bike cut out a little bit. I don't know, maybe it was in my head, but I figure, I don't know, it's just something that needs to be done. I'd recommend it, unless you're worried, or if you're like a new rider, maybe keep it on. Just, I don't know, I feel like I always make sure this kickstand's up anyway. You might notice too that I got some frame guards. These are cheap Amazon ones, another Amazon special product here, held on by zip ties. This side actually is all right. You might read in the reviews that one of the zip ties slips on the frame. That's actually over here. I don't know how well you can see that. It's not really sitting too well in that groove, and it does want to slip off the tapered part here on the frame. But you know, for 25 bucks, you know, you might also read that the stock bolt there actually doesn't fit in the recess part of this frame guard, and it doesn't. I had to find one there, but it's all good. You know, they're functional. It's protecting the frame. Again, you're going to read reviews saying that the paint on these frames was pretty thin. So, all right, without further ado though, finally got the old K-Tech suspension. Let's see if you can see down in there. Again, you're still on my helmet here, so bear with me. So I went with a 210 to 245 rear shock. It only took 8 weeks to get in, but totally worth it. I'll tell you what, on the kickstand, you know, the old stock, once you put the weight of the bike on, it would compress a lot more. Yeah, I mean, the weight of the bike doesn't really compress the shock much. I did adjust the preload just slightly the other day to make it a tad softer. I'm only 200 pounds. I'm 6'2". I'm gonna get some specs for you guys. I did take stock measurements of the total sag and seat height and everything with the stock suspension. So in my next video, I'll talk about those numbers just so you can kind of see the difference. But I can tell you right now, it's sitting about 2 inches higher, I want to say, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I don't know. Again, budget rear shock, much cheaper than the Race Tech, but I'm very, very happy with it. It just feels 10 times better. Going over all those bumps and everything we were just doing, man, you would feel it a lot more if this were the stock suspension. It's just, the rebound is nice. Yes, it does not have compression, but it, again, better than stock and a fraction of the cost from the Race Tech. Comes from England, probably China in the end of the day. One thing I'm going to say though, and I have to say it, throughout those 8 weeks I was calling K-Tech all the time, as you know. Man, their customer service sucks. You know, the dude in the email, very plain, very short, tells you bare minimum stuff. You know, one instance I asked 2 questions, he'd answer only 1. You know, and then you'd call, and I felt like the guy started to give me attitude, and it's like, man, I just want some updates. You know, you just keep telling me that it should ship by the end of the week, and it never shipped at the end of the week. Whatever, I'm gonna stop bitching about that. I just want everyone to know, don't expect phenomenal customer service, but you should expect a nice, decent shock that you will be happy with for a pretty good price, okay? That said, I did go the front spring as well. I went with a 9 Newton K-Tech spring, 10 times better than stock. What I'm gonna say is this, you know, you're gonna read their oil specs online for how much oil needs to go in that fork. And again, I'm gonna go over these numbers in another video, but you need to put more oil in. I actually need to take this back apart and put more oil in. You will find videos from guys from the UK that actually recommend putting more oil in. For starters, I went with the K-Tech recommendation. And I just feel like it's too soft. What I was reading online is if I put a little more oil in, oil doesn't compress where air does, so making a smaller air gap is going to create less fluctuation, or like a stiffer, or you know, less air to compress, and therefore it's going to create a stiffer fork. I don't know, tell me if I'm right in interpreting that, what I read there. Again, I'm not an expert on suspension, y'all, but I am handy, and you know, I can do it. I feel comfortable taking this fork apart. It was really easy, actually. Watch a few videos. K-Tech didn't have any instructions, and of course that's another thing. I asked them, hey, can you send me some instructions? Nope. So but overall, not happy with customer service from K-Tech, happy with the product. Again, for a $5,300 bike, I just have a hard time spending $1,200 on a single rear shock from the Race Tech, even with the reservoir. You know, that's just me, but that's roughly 20% of the total cost of the bike. And I don't know, why didn't you just get the 450? Why didn't you get something else, you know, for the money, if you're going to be dropping that much into it? That's my opinion. You don't agree with me? Hey, so be it. What else do I got for you? I don't know. I think that might be it for now. For those of you who see my first video, I did mention that how in the hell do you program the rear 12 o'clock labs light here? I did figure it out. So now it blinks when I hit the brake, which is pretty nice. Let's see if we can see it here. Just a safety feature. And as I showed you before, man, I just love this light. It's pretty sweet. I'm not going to go in my gripes about that though. Again, for the money. Man, you've all heard it if you've seen my videos. So not going to go there. All in all, y'all, I mean, what do I got on this thing? How many miles? 425. For the money? Hell yeah, I'm happy with this bike. I think it's silly if you don't upgrade the suspension though. You know, I've seen a few YouTube videos recently where the guys are like, hey, I've owned this bike for a year, I'm finally selling it, and here's why. And it's like, they want to bitch about the suspension. I'm sorry, every video you watch on YouTube, everyone complains about the suspension. You should buy this bike expecting to replace the suspension. That's all I'm going to say. For 5,000 bucks, you have a hell of a bike here, but I'm telling you, you will not regret getting new suspension. You will be 10 times happier. Okay? Thought about deleting all this stuff. I don't know. I know, what's his name? Jake the Snake. He just did a video on deleting all this, doing an airbox mod. Yeah, maybe. Eventually. I mean, it's extra weight. I'd love this bike to be a little lighter. But other than that, yeah. I still need to tune in that rear shock a little more. But for now, it's doing great. So, let's bench back up that hill and have a little fun. Gotta love the old electric start. Go for third. We're definitely spinning. I feel like that's just the nature of the Dunlop 606. Great tire, great dual sport tire, all-around tire, but it is a harder compound, so, you know, I feel like it will have the tendency to spin out a little more. But as they say, you ride these dual sports, you know, it's not going to be good at any one thing. But I'll tell you what, I'm having fun. It's, sure, if I had a strict dirt bike, yeah, I can tell you I'd be having a lot more fun on these trails, but then I would lose the on-road capability, which is actually kind of important to me. I want to cruise the roads, I want to ride to the trails, and then I want to ride home. I want to ride to the grocery store, go pick up a 4-pack of beer. So, whew. Let's jump that. Yeah, we're definitely revving her out a little more. I did see someone's post that you could adjust the light, the shift indicator. I definitely want to do that, because I'll tell you what, I like revving this bike out a little bit. And I don't need a light telling me when to shift, man. I mean, I raced motocross for a lot of years. You know, I'm not trying to race now, that's not my purpose. I'm just trying to go out and have some fun on the trails. Yeah, there's definitely some times that, ooh, nice. There's definitely some times that I want to ride fast. You know, I don't discriminate. Whew. A little air. Yep, there we go. Whew. Little deep, buddy. Whew. Rear end sliding out a little bit. Tell you what, this is some fun shit though. Could bench right through this, but not feeling that ballsy actually. All right, let's fucking. Oh man, we're flinging mud up everywhere. Hopefully, I hope the camera lens is clean. Been riding this K-Tech suspension now for probably a week. So, you know, as I said, I gotta keep dialing it in. Want to play around with the preload a little more, messing around with the rebound, throw some oil in the front forks. But I'll tell you what, from the factory, I'm pretty pleased. Woo! We'll see if the angle of my GoPro is good too for y'all. Again, first time with the GoPro. The helmet mount here, so I gotta play around with it a little bit. Woo! That one launched me off my seat. Pirelli MT16 just, I mean, I just feel pretty confident with it. It sticks pretty well. Real fast before I let you guys go, I'm gonna rip up this hill here. Pay attention to the RPMs and the speed. Oh, big Mr. Van's going. What's up, Mr. Van? Well, we're gonna let them get out of the way now. Anyone know what reservoir this is? Oh, I was just getting that dude's way. Man. I swear I can get the front end up usually. I'm spinning out today. Let's try once more. A little bit. Wait long enough? Probably not, but here we go. Off a second and let's take off. So I'm cruising up this hill right now in 6th gear and it's pulling. Pretty big hill too. Even though I am. Alright, y'all. Thanks for joining me. I'll have another one coming soon. Peace.